Where were you all summer?
Yeah. What are you, my mother?
I'm just asking.
I was working, which is more than any of you skids can say.
Working?
That's right. I was lugging boxes at Bargain City, moron.
Nice job.
Eat me. Saving up to get me some wheels.
Yeah. You want to hear what I did?
No.
Hey, there's Danny. 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 My God.
Grease is a 1978 musical romance comedy film based on the 1971 stage musical of the same name. Directed by Randall Kleiser, it would find tremendous box office success, launch one of the best-selling soundtrack albums of all time, and would contribute greatly to a renewed American interest in 1950s popular culture. In Los Angeles, California in the summer of 1958, local high school 18-year-old teenager Danny Zuko, played by John Travolta, meets a vacationer from Australia named Sandy Olsen, played by Olivia Newton-John. The two have a summer romance that seems destined to end when Sandy returns to Australia. A few weeks later, at the start of their senior year at Rydell High School, Danny resumes his role as leader of a greaser gang named the T-Birds, also consisting of Duty, played by Barry Pearl, Sonny Latieri, played by Michael Tucci, blonde greaser Putsy, played by Kelly Ward, and Kaniki Murdoch, played by Jeff Conaway.
Hey, how was the action at the beach, man?
Oof. It was flipping.
Crazy?
I did meet this one chick. She was sort of cool.
Unbeknownst to Danny, Sandy's parents remained in the United States, and Sandy has enrolled at Rydell, where she meets the greaser girl clique known as the Pink Ladies. Frenchie Facciano, played by Didi Conn, Marty Maraschino, played by Dinah Manoff, Jan, played by Jamie Donnelly, and Betty Rizzo, played by Stockard Channing.
Well, here we are again.
Yeah, but this time we're seniors.
And we're gonna rule the school.
Jan, that is so adolescent. We are adolescents.
We don't have to flaunt it.
The girls often date the T-Birds and wonder if Sandy would fit in as a pink lady or with someone more wholesome like do-good intelligent cheerleader Patty Simcox, played by Susan Buckner.
Oh, you must think I'm a terrible clod for not introducing myself to your friend. Hi, I'm Patty Simcox. Welcome to Rydell. Well, I hope you'll be at cheerleader tryouts. We'll have so much fun and get to be lifelong friends.
You guys, how do you like Sandy, huh? Do you think we can let her in the Pink Ladies?
She looks too pure to be pink.
Both Danny and Sandy tell their classmates about their summer fling.
What'd you do this summer, Sandy?
Oh, I spent most of it at the beach. I met a boy there.
Hauled your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy?
Well, he was sort of special.
There ain't no such thing.
He was really romantic.
Oh, come on. You don't want to hear all the horny details.
Are you kidding?
I'll tell you.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy cute as can be.
Summer days drifting away to another summer night.
Sandy eventually says Danny's name, and Rizzo, who once had a fling with Danny, arranges a surprise reunion at a pep rally where Sandy meets Tom Chisholm, a jock, played by Lorenzo Lamas. Caught between his feelings and his bad boy reputation, Danny snubs Sandy in front of his gang, upsetting her.
Sandy! Danny? What are you doing here? I thought you were going back to Australia.
We had a change of plans.
I can't...
Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is. Rockin' and rollin' and whatnot.
Danny?
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me, baby? What's the matter with you?
What happened to the Danny Zuko I met at the beach?
Well, I do not know. I mean, maybe there's two of us, right? Why don't you take out a missing persons ad or try the yellow pages? I don't know.
You're a fake and a phony, and I wish I'd never laid eyes on you.
Kenickie unveils his new used car, Greased Lightning, which he plans on street racing after a restoration.
Why could be Greased Lightning? Greased Lightning. Go Greased Lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. Greased Lightning, go Greased Lightning.
The Pink Ladies have Sandy over for one of their sleepover pajama parties where she falls ill from drinking champagne, smoking a cigarette, and having her ears pierced by Frenchie. Rizzo mocks Sandy's wholesome innocence.
I don't drink. No! I swear. Oh! I don't rat my hair. Ew! I get ill from one cigarette.
Keep your filthy paws off my silky drawers.
Would you pull that crap with a net?
As for you, Troy Donahue, I know what you want to do. You got your crust, I'm no object of lust. I'm just plain Sandra Dee.
Rizzo runs off to have sex with Kenickie in his car. They are both interrupted by Leo Craterface Balmudo, leader of the rival gang the Scorpions, played by Dennis Stewart, and his girlfriend Charlene Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, played by Annette Charles.
You're gonna pay for that!
Yeah, well, I'll give you 75 cents for the whole car, including your chick.
Danny eventually apologizes to Sandy.
Hi, Danny.
I can't talk to you right now.
Listen, what are you doing later?
I can't talk, all right?
Call me.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
That's good. Hey, Sandy, I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time now.
What about?
Well, about that night at the bonfire, I mean, the way I acted, that was terrible. I mean, it really was. I mean, it wasn't me. You gotta know that. I mean, it was me, of course, but it wasn't me. And you see, Sandy, I got this image, right? I got this.
Well, that's why I'm so glad that Tom's such a simple person.
Simple is right. Too bad his brains are in his biceps.
Jealous, are you?
Jealous? Oh, come on, Sandy. Don't make me laugh. Ha, ha, ha.
Danny decides to compete with Tom by trying his hand at athleticism, with help from the coach Vince Calhoun, played by Sid Caesar.
Let's start with the first rule. Cutting down 2 packs a day, huh? There we go. First thing we have to do is you have to change.
Well, I know that's why I'm here, to change.
No, I mean your clothes.
Oh.
All right, let's knock it off. Fellas, want to introduce a new man? Danny, let's give him a tryout, huh?
You better watch.
After the two reconcile, Danny still tries to walk the fine line between his sensitive side with Sandy and being cool in front of his friends.
My parents want to invite you out for tea on Sunday. Do you want to come?
I don't like tea.
You don't have to drink tea.
Well, I don't like parents.
Rizzo and Kenickie have a fight while Frenchie winds up turning her hair pink after a disastrous beauty school experience, causing her to drop out.
Baby, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You're not cut out to hold a job. Better forget it. Forget it. Who wants their hair done by a slob? Now your bangs are curled, your lashes twirl, but still the world is cruel. Wipe off that angel face and go back to high school.
The senior class competes on a live national telecast of the popular hit television show National Bandstand, hosted by disc jockey Vince Fontaine, played by Ed Burns, who takes a liking to Marty.
I'll be waiting by the
Hi. I'm Vince Fontaine. Hey, do your folks know I come into your room every night? Over KZAZ, that is. I'm judging the dance contest.
I don't think I'm entered.
A knockout like you? What's your name?
Marty.
Marty what?
Maraschino. You know, like in cherry.
During the dance, Rizzo and Kanicki spite each other by bringing Leo and Cha-Cha. When Cha-Cha winds up winning the dance contest with Danny, who seems to have had a past fling with her, Sandy leaves angry and heartbroken. While Danny tries to reconcile once again with Sandy at the drive-in, he also tries to have sex with her, which only angers her more.
Danny!
Sandy! Oh, Sandy.
What's he doing?
Oh, Sandy. Don't worry about it. Nobody's watching.
Danny, get off me!
Sandy, what's the matter with you? I thought I meant something to you.
To you? You think I'm gonna stay here with you in this sin wagon? You can take this piece of tin?
As all the friends head towards graduation at Rydell High, what will become of the class of 1959? This film was based off of the 1971 Broadway musical, and the screenplay was written by Bronte Woodward, and the movie was directed by Randall Kleiser. It was filmed in Los Angeles, California from June 27th to September 14th, 1977. The high school exterior scenes were filmed at Venice High School in the summer of 1977. Originally, this movie was set in urban Chicago, Illinois, not in suburban Los Angeles, California. Elvis Presley turned down the role of the guardian angel in the beauty school dropout scene. When Alan Carr first bought the movie rights to Grease, he envisioned Elvis Presley as Danny Zuko and Anne Margaret as Sandy Olsen. Henry Winkler, who became a sensation as Arthur Fonzie Fonzarelli on the 1974 ABC television series Happy Days, was considered for the role of Danny Zuko. He turned down the role for fear of being typecast. Winkler also confessed to being unable to sing, a talent that would have been essential for playing the role. John Travolta started rehearsals just 4 days after having completed filming for Saturday Night Fever. Having 2 mega-hit movies in a row made it difficult for Travolta to return to honor his contract for his ABC television sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter. However, he fulfilled his contract and remained on the show through most of the 4th and final season when it ended in 1979. Grease was part of a 3-movie deal onto which producer Robert Stigwood signed John Travolta, including Saturday Night Fever and Moment by Moment. Susan Day and Deborah Raffin were the first choices for the role of Sandy. Susan Day declined the role after her manager advised her against the movie. Linda Ronstadt, Marie Osmond, and Carrie Fisher were all considered for the role of Sandy. Writer and producer Alan Carr met Olivia Newton-John at a party thrown by a fellow Australian singer, Helen Reddy, and was completely smitten with her. He begged her to sign on for the part. John Travolta also rallied for her to get the role. Jeff Conaway was so infatuated with Olivia Newton-John, he was tongue-tied whenever he was around her. He later married her sister, Rona Newton-John. Lucy Arnaz was the first choice for the role of Rizzo. Nancy Kyes was also considered. Many critics complained that the actors and actresses were far too old to play high school characters. When filming began in June 1977, Stockard Channing was 33, Olivia Newton-John was 28, Jeff Conaway was 26, Didi Conn was 25, John Travolta was 23, Dinah Manoff was 21, and Lorenzo Lamas was 19. Michael Biehn had read for the Lorenzo Lamas role, but he was cast instead in an uncredited role as Mike the Athletic Guy. He is the guy Danny punches during the basketball game to get the ball away from him. This was years before Michael Biehn became widely known from roles in movies such as The Terminator and Aliens. Jeff Conaway had an on-set fling with Susan Buckner. Susan Buckner joked that she and Conaway had to practice the dress lifting scene many times. This movie is one of 3 movies where John Travolta enters a dance contest. The other 2 films are Saturday Night Fever and Pulp Fiction. In the stage play, the song Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee had a reference to Sal Mineo, who was murdered in 1976. For the movie, the lyrics were changed to reference Elvis Presley. In that scene, Rizzo is smoking and she asks the other girls if they want a hit parade. Hit Parade was a brand of cigarettes that were somewhat popular in the 1950s. In the malt shop scene, Teen Angel, played by Frankie Avalon, tells Frenchie to
wipe off that angel face and go back to high school.
Angel Face was a brand of makeup that was very popular during the 1950s. Many actors and actresses who were very popular in the 1950s and even before that are cast in this film, including Sid Caesar, Eve Arden, and Dodi Goodman. Much of the filming took place during excessive heat. The dance contest was filmed during the summer of 1977 when the school was closed. The gym had no air conditioning and the doors had to be kept closed to control lighting. Many people had to be removed due to heat-related illnesses. The soundtrack album ended 1978 as the second best-selling album of the year in the United States, behind the soundtrack to the 1977 film Saturday Night Fever, which also starred John Travolta. You're the One That I Want, performed by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts in June 1978. The theme song, Grease, performed by Frankie Valli, was written by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, very much linking the movie to producer Robert Stigwood's 1977 hit, Saturday Night Fever. The lyrics describe a lost generation in revolt and rebellion, which described the baby boomer generation in the 1960s and 1970s better than the Eisenhower silent era generation of the 1950s. Director Randall Kleiser did not like the theme song since it didn't fit in the movie very well, but he put it in anyway after pressures from the producer and studio to have as many tie-ins to Saturday Night Fever as possible. The song Grease became a hit and reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts in August 1978. Summer Nights, performed by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, hit number 5 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts. The high notes at the end of the song were outside of John Travolta's vocal range, so they were overdubbed by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. Greased Lightning, performed by Travolta, would reach number 47 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts in late October 1978. Travolta had another hit single with Sandy, which reached number 2 on the UK singles charts in late October and early November 1978, held off from the number 1 UK singles spot by Summer Nights. The film included the classic 1950s hits La Bamba by Richie Valens and Whole Lotta Shakin' Going On, performed by Jerry Lee Lewis. Sha-Na-Na, seen in the film as Johnny Casino and the Gamblers, was a retro doo-wop group that formed in 1969. The group performed covers of songs including Tears on My Pillow, Rock and Roll Is Here to Stay, Hound Dog, and Blue Moon. Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey also wrote original songs for the film that were created in 1978, but sounded like they were from the 1950s. These included Sha-Na-Na performed songs such as Born to Hand Jive and Those Magic Changes. And Cindy Boland's performed songs like Freddie My Love and It's Raining on Prom Night.
It's raining on prom night. My hair is a mess.
Even with all of these songs, Olivia Newton-John's contract for Grease stipulated that she should have a solo song. However, nobody had any ideas for a song for her character Sandy. Olivia Newton-John's producer, John Farrar, came up with a song halfway through the shoot. Director Randall Kleiser wasn't convinced by the song at first and had to come up with a whole new scene to fit it in. It was eventually filmed and recorded after the movie had wrapped, and it would earn the film its only Oscar nomination, a nomination for Best Original Song. The song was called Hopelessly Devoted to You. Record World magazine called it a 50s-inspired love ballad with the production sound of the 70s. The song would reach number 3 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts in September 1978. It became a signature hit. Grease was released into theaters on June 16, 1978, and became the highest-grossing film in the United States in the entire year of 1978. It was re-released May 18, 1979, and then in June of 1979, it was paired with a PG-rated version of Saturday Night Fever. Grease would then be released into theaters again for the 20th anniversary in 1998, grossing another $28 million. In 2018, the movie was released again for the 40th anniversary, grossing another $1 million. Over the years, Grease has grossed at least $396 million. At the time of its release, this was the third highest grossing film worldwide after Star Wars in 1977 and Jaws in 1975. Grease continued a trend during the 1970s where American pop culture went through a 1950s nostalgia craze. This trend sort of began with George Lucas having his hit 1973 film American Graffiti. Now that movie took place in 1962, but it inspired the 1974 ABC television series Happy Days, which took place in the 1950s. And films like Grease only added to that 1950s nostalgia that the United States went through. Between President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963, all of the riots and revolutions, more assassinations, and the Vietnam and Watergate era, Americans felt a need to reclaim the relative innocence and pre-counterculture feel of the 1950s. This trend would continue into the decade of the 1980s. Films like Porky's, Diner, Back to the Future, and many, many, many more would be a continuing sign of 1950s nostalgia. Americans even elected a man who had been a household name as a movie actor in the 1950s to be President of the United States from 1981 to 1989. In many ways, the success of Grease contributed to a continuation of the 1950s nostalgia that began in the 1970s. In 2020, this movie was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant to American history. My mother was a huge fan of this film when it came out around the time she was a preteen, and it was huge among her and other Generation Xers who loved the music and John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. My mom bought the 1990 VHS tape release, and I saw it at a very young age. Young enough where I have old home videos singing and dancing to Grease songs in 1992. I turned 4 years old in 1992. That means that the latest that I ever saw this film was 1992. By that measure, Grease is likely one of the first films I ever saw in my life. My family and I went to see a Broadway production of Grease in July 1997. Adrian Zmed of Grease 2 and the ABC television series T.J. Hooker played the role of Danny Zuko, while Mackenzie Phillips of American Graffiti fame and the CBS television series One Day at a Time played the role of Rizzo. Sally Struthers from the iconic CBS television series All in the Family portrayed the character of Miss Lynch, a teacher at Rydell High School rewritten as a principal for the screen adaptation. I think this movie is magnificent. The music is great, the dancing is fantastic, and it is an iconic piece of American pop culture. I think it's iconic for 2 decades. It looks iconic as far as 1950s, but it came out and is iconic for the late 1970s. I highly recommend the classic 1978 hit film, Grease.